kind of measurable growth we can see in mindful walking because it's quite straightforward in that sense, but it's quite challenging on the other hand because we have to walk with open eyes and while others are also walking and maybe we are walking outside because distractions are possible, but still how to pay our attention to each and every sensations what's happening to our souls. So that's the challenge, that's the success in it. But interestingly, we become more and more successful. So we have the capacity, that means all these different say distractions, we have the capacity to divert our attention, properly focus our attention onto where we need. So Buddha particularly highlight this as one of the very important benefit of walking meditation. There's a separate sutta called Chakramana Sutta in the numerical discourses, Anguttara Nikaya. So there he particularly mentioned the one who is practicing walking meditation will accomplish his task. He is with good determination and he is a kind of a warrior. He somehow accomplished his task because he is practicing from the beginning with challenges. But ultimately, he is capable of implementing it and he becomes capable and how to maintain his attention even though various other distractions are happening. So slowly, assume now you are capable of mindfully walking for 10 steps, 20 steps like that. Then one important thing you probably can recognize is instead of you being distracted, now you become more aware of what's happening within the body. And even though you see things, mind doesn't want to go there. Mind doesn't want to get distracted. It likes to stay with the body. Even though here you hear various sounds, mind doesn't want to pay attention much to them. Rather, it likes to stay with the body. Even though various thoughts come into the mind doesn't want to go with them. Rather, it prefers to stay within the body. So likewise, this complete change happened where the concentration side is growing, the tranquility side is growing, where mind prefers to stay within you rather than being distracted. So once it happens, then it's another level of practice where now things become more easier and you are capable of doing it. Now you can further pay attention to each and every sensation what you feel, particularly at your feet. It may be hardness, it may be softness. Say when consider if you are walking on a floor like this, it may be hardness, it may be softness, maybe coolness, maybe heat, maybe the movements of the leg, vibrations. All these things are various element characteristics you start recognizing. So the walking meditation turns into elements meditation. You know, Dhatu Manasikara. In the Anupasana, a very important type of meditation is called Dhatu Manasikara, elements meditation. So the walking meditation turns into elements meditation. Now you are simply walking, recognizing each and every characteristics of various elements. It may be the earth element, the hardness, roughness, smoothness, heaviness, lightness, all these are earth element characteristics. Then the movements, vibrations, so these are air element characteristics. And hot, cold, so these are the heat element characteristics. Now walking happens, but you are more into the recognizing these very subtle characteristics happening within you. So then basically you are turning more into Vipassana, turning more into clear comprehension, more into investigation, more into wisdom. So walking meditation is more supportive to Vipassana meditation. And there are people who really prefer walking meditation even than sitting meditation because sometimes sitting typically can bias into samadhi, bias into more concentration. But on the other hand, the walking meditation is more into vipassana, more into investigation. That's a good sign. So we need to balance both, by the way. So it doesn't mean that we only have to walk or we only have to sit. Rather, we need to combine both. We need to get the benefit from both. Typically, if you are walking a certain amount of time, same amount of time you can sit. Then we get the benefit from both types of practices. I'm going to show you another video. It's talking a little bit deeper about walking meditation. So we'll look at it now.
mindful walk. It was the school holidays, so that I could practice mindful walking in the morning and evening. One day I woke up early. In this video, we will be presenting experiences of a son father daughter practicing mindful walk. It was the school holidays, so that I could practice mindful walking in the morning and evening. One day, I woke up early and started my practice. Initially, I walked up and down in the corridor I used for the practice. Then I told myself I am going to walk now. It helped my mind to be clear and allowed me to start the practice. In the next 2 rounds, I just noted that I am walking when I was walking. When turning, I noted that I am turning. Then I started to pay attention to the sensations I was feeling and then kept my foot on the floor. I continued to walk about 20 steps in this manner. Afterwards, I heard a few sounds and felt a temptation to stop walking and to go and check on those sounds. I realized that I had been distracted. Next, I told myself I am now walking again. As I was keeping my foot on the floor, I started feeling sensations faster than I did before. Step after step, I felt that the heel was the first part of the foot to touch the floor, and the first part to be lifted off the floor. The arch and the toes followed afterwards. I noted the weight felt by different parts of the foot as I placed my foot on the floor. The heel felt the most weight, following that the arch, and finally the toes felt the least weight. I felt this process happening continuously. When one foot went down, the other foot lifted off the ground. I then noted that this happens in a cycle. Afterwards, I realized the act we call walking happens automatically, and the cycle will only stop if we stop walking. One radius. Let's have a close look at the process that our young practitioner experienced. As we take step after step, when one foot gradually touches the ground, the other foot takes off. There comes the point when one foot is off the ground and the other foot is entirely on the ground. At that time, the vertically aligned leg transfers the body weight down, functioning similar to the spoke of a cart wheel aligned vertically. This vertically aligned spoke, referred to as one radius, is fixed at one end to the axle and the other end to the ring. One radius transmits the weight from the cart to the section of the ring in touch with the ground. Similarly, the leg functioning at one radius transmits the body weight to the ground through the foot, which acts as the ring of the cart wheel. As the weight turns, the next spoke that aligns vertically becomes one spoke or one radius. Similarly, when we take step after step, our legs alternately take the turn to act as one radius. Step after step, legs acting as one radius transfer the weight from one foot to the
cycle which only stops turning when we start walking. Just as the weight transmission happens through the vertically aligned with one radius, our mind aligned to the object of purpose gets empowered with mindfulness. Implying this similarity, mindfulness has been referred to as one radius or ekaro in Pali. Step after step, we can observe in mind how the legs alternately align as ekaro. By paying close attention as the foot touches the ground, we can feel the transmission of weight through different parts of the foot. As we continue in this manner, our mindfulness will become more profound, leading to greater clarity and deeper insight. Next part of this video includes further information on benefits of practicing mindful walking.
Okay, actually the one important thing highlighted there is to establish mindfulness and properly focusing our attention. Now, say for example, if you want to look at a certain object, say I want to look at my palm, so either I can keep it like this, I can keep it like this, and keep it like this, keep it like this, which would be the best way of keeping? Kind of straightforward, right? Very completely aligned with the eyes, and then we can say, and I can see properly. So same thing applies in the Vipassana practice. So assume that you want to look at a particular feeling happening within the body, and are we capable of precisely focusing our attention there immediately? Typically not happen, because we may delay, we may miss the aim, all these things are possible, but later, one day you become successful, okay, exactly, when it is happening, it is arising, we are there. So we are not late, we are not early, but exactly when it happens, we are there, and again, we are able to look at it very closely, carefully, so that I can recognize each and every subtle aspect of that changing process. So that is particularly very important in Vipassana practice. So whatever the sensation, what it may be, what is the sensation, it may be a feeling, and even a thought. So we should be able to properly locate it or position our attention. And it also has to happen immediately when it is occurring. We are not late. And again, we are able to look at it consistently till it is existing. So this practice, this training actually is what we are gaining through the walking practice. As I said yesterday, when your right foot is touching, say that is where you are aiming your attention, and you have to quickly lift it and then place your attention onto the left foot when you are moving to the left foot. So it is unlike anapanasati, unlike breathing meditation, where you are keeping your attention continuously at the nostril. But here you have to quickly change your focus of attention. So it's a kind of exercise, a kind of dynamic process we have learned, very, very useful in the Vipassana practice. So then we'll go for another mindful walking, and as usual, you can return around 2:15 to this place. So find your own place, practice mindful walking, and return to this place at 2:50.